This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Scott Dennis is off tonight. Our top story, an unimaginable case of child neglect that led to the arrest of a Sarasota couple. Police say the couple and 5 children were living in dangerous and filthy conditions. ABC7's Rick Adams is joining us now from 18th Street in Sarasota live with details on this case. Rick.
Yeah, Haley, this is the home where the family had been living. Officers say the conditions inside are the worst they've ever seen. On the outside, this home on 18th Street looks pretty normal. On the inside, it's a whole other story. The Sarasota Police Department says animal and human feces were discovered on the floor, along with broken glass, rotting food, and a strong odor of urine throughout the home. Jerry Haddock lives 2 houses down from the home. He's in shock that this happened in his neighborhood.
That's terrible. I wouldn't believe it, because like I said, I never seen it on the outside that much. Amanda Dean and Joseph Dromeshauser were arrested on Monday during a welfare check and charged with 5 counts of child neglect without great bodily harm. The couple had been living in the home with 5 children, ages 11 months old to 17 years old.
These 5 children were living in just absolute filth. And so we're just grateful that somebody realized that something wasn't right at home and made the proper notification.
We did knock on the door back here, but not surprisingly, there wasn't an answer. But back here, peeking through the window, there was a cat. At this time, it's not known what's going to happen to any of the animals in the home. In addition to all the deplorable conditions, police say the home had no running water or any way to dispose of human waste. Police tell us the family would go to another family member's home once a week to shower and wash clothes. It appears the children are okay.
Physically, a little dirty, but overall doing well. But anybody living in those conditions, you can imagine it's going to have a very traumatic effect on them.
Joseph Dromeshauser has been bailed out of jail while Amanda Dean remains behind bars. Dromeshauser is also facing drug charges. Police say they are now working to get the children to a safe place with other family members and friends. The Florida Department of Children and Families are conducting an investigation. And also, authorities are continuing with their investigation. The couple will appear in court in the coming weeks. Reporting live from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you, Haley.
Thank you, Rick. The arrest of a substitute teacher in Manatee County on child molestation charges is raising questions about screening in the school district. According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, Brad Bellinger knew his 3 victims outside of his role as a teacher, but authorities aren't ruling out that there may be more victims in the schools. The school district says all teachers and substitutes go through the same fingerprinted background check before stepping inside a classroom. Substitutes also go through training on conduct and child abuse.
They are screened for both the Florida Department of Law Enforcement as well as FBI screening, so it meets both the state and federal requirements for working with students.
This is a very rare occurrence. We certainly don't like to see when it happens, but at the end of the day, we do have to trust our school systems.
The school district has opened its own internal investigation, but won't provide the names of the schools where Bellinger has worked. Sarasota police are investigating a shocking case of vandalism at a bakery. Someone caused almost $1,000 in damage at Sift Bakehouse downtown. Around 7 o'clock last night, someone pulled up to Sift Bakehouse and began shooting what is believed to be a BB gun. The large glass window in the front of the store was destroyed. Police are investigating this incident, but so far they have very few leads. The owner says that she found out her store was vandalized from an email from officers, and she says they told her that this crime is pretty often.
The police officer said to me that it is actually more common than what people think, and he thinks that I was targeted on purpose. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. Business owners like me build your businesses from scratch, and we make up the woven fabric of downtown Sarasota to make it special. And it's really sad that someone would think that they're entitled enough to come do this to my business.
As a reward, Sift is offering free cakes for life to anyone with information that leads to an arrest and conviction of those involved. They're also hosting a window buster sale to raise the funds for those repairs needed. An update now on the controversial plan to dredge Big Pass. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has denied Sarasota County's request for a more in-depth environmental study of the proposal. In a letter to the commission, the Army Corps defends the assessment it has already conducted on the plan to dredge up to 1.2 million cubic yards of sand from the pass to rebuild a stretch of Lido Key Beach. Many Siesta Key residents are against the plan, arguing the dredging could lead to more erosion on Siesta Key's beaches. The plan is still in the permitting phase. Heavy fog blanketed the Suncoast and Tampa Bay area for hours this afternoon, and the soupy weather caused a big traffic headache. The Florida Highway Patrol decided to close the Sunshine Skyway Bridge because of low visibility from around 11:30 to 1:45 this afternoon, forcing drivers to find longer alternate routes. The bridge is now back open. And taking a look at the traffic on the bridge at this point, no delays or accidents. Everything is moving smoothly. And if you do plan to head out to the beach over the next couple of days, you could run into some issues related to red tide. According to scientists at Mote Marine Lab, a bloom of the red tide organism persists in southwest Florida. 4 samples collected in Sarasota County this week detected red tide in medium to high concentrations. Moderate respiratory irritation was reported in Venice, the North Jetty and Siesta Key, with slight irritation in Manasota, Lido Key, and Nokomis. NOAA is projecting red tide will stick around in Sarasota County through tomorrow. And for more on that and our weather, let's head over to Bob.
Thanks, Hilly. Yesterday I was out there in Sarasota Bay, in fact, all throughout this area, and never really noticed any harmful impacts. Maybe once or twice, got slight irritation. Also was out on Longboat Key today, and just a little bit of slight irritation there, but a lot of fog. Get a look at the Van Wezel webcam. From around 11 o'clock, it just came in, and it came in pretty heavy at times. I shot some video, put it on our Facebook page right around 11 o'clock near Palma Sola, too, and it was heavy there. The Van Wezel webcam does show that fog has since moved on for the most part. It's associated with the warm, moist air out ahead of this cold front moving onshore over the relatively cooler waters of the Gulf of Mexico. You can still see those low clouds hanging on in places across the Suncoast near Venice southward, all the way down to near Inglewood. So you don't be surprised to see some fog there, and it could be rather thick. But it'll all be moving out of here as the front continues to move southward. Winds are out of the west at 6. Those winds will switch around more to a northerly direction once the front moves through, and our dew point temperature will also start to drop through the overnight hours. We're expecting temperatures to be in the upper 60s by 11 o'clock. We'll have more in our forecast as we head closer to the weekend, coming up in just a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Thousands of officers in Florida may soon get a pay raise. Governor Rick Scott wants the state's highway patrol troopers, wildlife officers, and state law enforcement agents to get a 5% pay raise next year. Scott says the nearly 4,000 officers deserve the pay raise for their hard work over this past year, which includes responding to 2 hurricanes and the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. Scott will include the $11.7 million budget request in recommendations that he will give to state legislators earlier next year. And ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, a mixed day to start the month of December on Wall Street.
Haley, you've got it absolutely right. 2 of the 3 indices that we follow every single day on ABC7 went lower for the day, actually a big drop by the NASDAQ. That being said, guess what? The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at yet another record high. It was up by 90 points at the high of the day. And for those of you who are keeping score at home, the Dow has been up 15 out of the last 18 trading sessions. Today we saw a lot of buying in bank stocks, in oil companies, and a lot of selling in technology. So let's see the end result of all that buying and selling. There you see the new record for the Dow, 19,191.93. A gain of 68 points, more than 1/3 of 1%, on volume of 744 million shares. The NASDAQ, the big loser of the day, lots of selling of tech stocks, down 72.5 points, more than 1.3%, closing at 5,251.11. That on volume of 1,648 million shares. And the S&P was in the middle lower, but not by a lot, 1/3 of 1%, not quite 8 points at 2,191.08. Well, if you've driven a Ford lately, you've got lots of friends. Shares of the Ford Motor Company today gained more than 4% after the company said its sales for November were up by 5.2% versus November of last year, while Wall Street was looking for a gain of less than 1%. The main reason Ford is trading in shares and trucks, of the famous Ford F-150. Its shares were stronger in the month of November than any month since all the way back in 2001. They also saw a 20% increase in SUVs and a 19% increase in the sale of Lincoln products. I guess those ads with Matthew McConaughey are paying off. 19% increases, not too bad.
Definitely not. And Richard, some late news from Starbucks.
And some surprising news, I think. Howard Schultz, who is really the chairman and the face of Starbucks, announced that he's going to retire as the day-to-day CEO in April. He will stay on as chairman, but a lot of people are very surprised, and I would think Starbucks tomorrow probably will be a sell.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
And still ahead on your Suncoast News, severe weather tears through southeastern states, leaving families to repair homes, and communities are now trying to regroup. And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, the Suncoast can breathe a little easier as hurricane season ends, why officials say it could have been much worse.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Black Friday's biggest deals are still here. That's right, the Black Friday sales event is going strong at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Or check out the stylish new Jeep Renegade, starting at just $16,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
What makes America's #1 beach even better? How about seafood and music? Don't miss the Siesta Beach Seafood and Music Festival happening Saturday and Sunday, December 3rd and 4th from 10 to 6 p.m. Savor mouth-watering Florida Gulf Coast seafood dishes by top restaurants and chefs while you enjoy great live music from some of Florida's top musical groups. So grab your family and friends at the Siesta Beach Seafood and Music Festival December 3rd and 4th. For more information, visit seafoodfestivals.com.
The powerful storms that spawned several tornadoes and killed at least 5 people in the south finally moved out of the area, but the damage has been done. Since Monday, there have been 48 reported tornadoes across 9 states in the south. Over in Tennessee, the death toll from wildfires is now up to 10. ABC's Elizabeth Herr shows us the aftermath.
The view from the air showing piles of debris and wood all across this neighborhood, once home to families in Alabama.
We were all holding on to each other, crouched down on the floor. Just, dear God, please let me live through this.
This is all that's left of a daycare, and the town of Rosalie hit hard. So many homes and businesses here leveled. In Mississippi, the aftermath equally devastating, and residents are just beginning to pick up the pieces.
Tornado warning.
The Florida Panhandle also hit with powerful waterspouts off the coast. And in Georgia, strong winds ripped this large chunk of metal off the roof of this recycling center and tossed it a quarter of a mile away. Over in Tennessee, displaced residents are surveying the damage from the wildfires. Everything's gone. The rain helped put out some of the flames, but with smoke still smoldering and the destruction overwhelming, Dolly Parton, who is from the area, is ready to help.
I've always believed that charity begins at home. We want to make sure that the Dollywood Foundation provides $1,000 a month to all those families that have lost their homes in the fires until they get back up on their feet.
President Obama also reached out to the Tennessee governor, and we are told federal assistance is on the way. This as search and rescue for the people still missing continue today. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
Florida ended its 2016 hurricane season Wednesday. That would be yesterday, marking the first time in more than a decade that the Sunshine State was hit by a hurricane. When Hurricane Hermine came on shore near St. Mark's on September 2nd, it ended a record string of nearly 11 years without a hurricane making landfall in the state. In early October, Florida came close to a direct hit by Hurricane Matthew, but the storm made landfall in South Carolina. However, the powerful storm caused extensive damage in coastal counties. It knocked out electrical power for more than 1 million Florida homes and businesses. But the state director of emergency management says it could have been worse.
If it had been 30 or 40 miles west, we'd be dealing with a whole lot different situation right now. And Hermine, again, also caused a great deal of damage, but frankly, not as bad as it could have been.
The Florida Office of Insurance Regulation says Hermine resulted in $95 million in property damage claims, while Matthew created $606 million worth of claims. So this was kind of a wake-up call, I think, to a lot of people this year.
We were quiet, as you said,
right,
from 2005, and it's been rather quiet here across the United States. You know, more loss of life than any of the storms prior to Floyd, and Floyd was a long time ago in the United States. So it was a devastating year as far as loss of life goes, and most of that was due to flooding throughout the Carolinas as Matthew was making his way toward that direction. Here's a look at all the storms we had. Really up until Lisa, it was the weakest hurricane season on record in terms of energy in the atmosphere. We didn't have many strong storms, but once we got to Matthew and Nicole, boy, those things really made the season one of the most active as they got up to major status at that point. Even Otto, a late season storm. The reason why we had so many late is the fact that there was less shear in the atmosphere due to neutral or La Nina conditions, meaning cooling of the eastern Pacific, and allowing those storms to grow a bit stronger, especially late in the season. And the late shear also allowed, for the most part, those storms to have an impact on the United States. Now, we are looking at generally fair conditions here up and down the coast as a result, again, of generally high pressure building in behind the front. But get a look at this photo. I wanted to show you this. This is a fog bank. If you've ever seen a fog bank, this is one right there. A great shot by Norm Schimmel. An unbelievable shot, really. And this rolled in and cut visibilities down to near zero across the Suncoast. You can see what happened. This cold front creates a southwest wind flow out ahead of it. And that southwest wind flow is warm, moist air overriding the relatively cooler waters of the Gulf of Mexico. So you got 80-degree temperature of air moving over the 70-degree water temperature that cools and condenses that air close to the surface of the Gulf. It moves on shore and causes that fog to really get thick at some places. And we see that on occasion, especially in advance of cold fronts through the winter months. So keep that in mind. But right now that front is still back to the north. We will see the cooler and drier air slip in, I think, by sunrise tomorrow. No rain around here. Some showers well inland near Highlands County, pushing off to the southeast. Wind flow basically out of the west and northwest. It will become more northerly, especially after midnight once the front moves through. So look for slightly cooler temperatures to wake up tomorrow. Also a little bit drier out there, it looks like. 76 right now. The dew point way up, 69. So we know that front has not moved through yet. When the front moves through, it should drop down in the 50s. Winds are out of the west at 6. The pressure 29.97 inches, which is fairly high. And high pressure will build back in for a temporary period of time. 77 in Bradenton now. It's 80 in Mayaca City. You'll notice the temperature is a little bit cooler as that west to northwesterly wind moving over the relatively cooler waters of the Gulf, keeping things milder there. But in the low 80s in Sebring, Lake Placid, and Wauchula, all in the 80s currently. Well, over the southeast, things are quiet right now, but there are some showers and storms developing over Texas, which will eventually have an impact on the lower Mississippi Valley. Again, it looks like some big storms heading toward Texas and Louisiana, I think, in the upcoming days. Well, satellite and radar pictures still showing that front over the Big Bend area, but behind it, as I mentioned, some slightly cooler temperatures moving in. Temperatures right now around the U.S., 39 in Columbus, pretty chilly in Chicago, 39 there as well. 42 in Billings and 54 in Wichita, 37 in Omaha, and 66 degrees in Dallas. Well, the forecast calling for clearing skies through our area tonight. Look for a nice day tomorrow, northeasterly winds, so that will again cool us off a little bit for tomorrow. For boaters, winds picking up a bit out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be 2 to 4 feet, and there'll be a moderate chop in the bays. And inland waters, temperatures dropping down into the upper 70s for Friday, back into the 80s on Saturday and Sunday. Looks good. A little storm system comes in by Tuesday of next week, bringing with it a chance for some much-needed rainfall. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. In health news tonight, research shows our emotions can affect our health. Anger, depression, anxiety, and social isolation can all lead to higher rates of heart disease. The reverse is also true. Studies suggest laughter can decrease stress hormones, reduce artery inflammation, and increase HDL, the good cholesterol. That's according to the American Heart Association. And these positive effects can last for 24 hours. Researchers at University of Maryland Medical Center found that laughter increases your blood flow by dilating the inner lining of the blood vessels. It also boosts the number of antibody-producing cells, which leads to a stronger immune system. Check these people out. Is this not enough to make you laugh? They're doing some kind of, I guess, like laughing camp or something. It's making me laugh, and I'm improving my health at the same time. Pfizer says its experimental biosimilar of Roche's breast cancer treatment Herceptin was found comparable in a new study. Biotech drugs, including Herceptin, are made in living cells and then extracted and purified. They are more complex than traditional drugs and cannot be copied with precision. Unlike generic drugs, biosimilars approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to date are not considered interchangeable. Biosimilars are not expected to become available for at least another year or two in the U.S. The U.S. patent on Herceptin is slated to lapse in 2019, although some industry analysts believe a biosimilar could be launched as soon as 2018. Many people believe that when the weather turns cooler, their allergies will disappear. But winter weather might bring problems to those with indoor allergies. An air purifier can offer some relief, but there is a downside. While the machine cleans the air of impurities, it can make conditions inside your home more humid, and then allergens like dust mites and mold thrive better. Coming up, a tense and terrifying trip to a Florida bank for 11 people held hostage for hours. Plus, an 11-hour standoff in Washington ends with one officer dead along with the shooter.
I'm Alan Cohn. Controlling drones. The FAA is rolling out new rules for the devices, but how hard will it be for local law enforcement to manage?
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
This holiday season, give the greatest gifts of all, safety and peace of mind. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And now, during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Now to a developing story in the Jacksonville area where a bank robbery turned into a 2-hour-long hostage situation. Police say it ended peacefully with all of the hostages released and a lone suspect in custody, but the incident remains under investigation. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the latest.
A tense and terrifying morning for the hostages held inside this Florida credit union. Police and the SWAT team not the only ones rushing to the scene.
I'm just prayerful, prayerful.
Family members unable to get a hold of their loved ones prayed for their safety.
I just want to hold her and let her know that God is in the plan.
It was just after 9 a.m. Police say they got a 911 call about a robbery in progress at Community First Credit Union in Jacksonville. SWAT negotiators called to the scene right away with the suspect making demands and dangerous threats.
He also continued to threaten people inside the bank. He threatened to kill hostages multiple times, but he was actually putting the gun to the back of the hostage's head.
Then 2 hours later, a daring move from inside the credit union gave the SWAT team a chance to move in and free the hostages.
2 people were hiding inside the bank, unknown to the hostage taker. Those 2 people took an opportunity to attempt to flee the bank. When they did that, it distracted the hostage taker. And at that point, the SWAT team took that opportunity to make entry into the bank.
He's safe, and I'm happy. I'm just relieved right now. Not much going through my mind.
The suspect was taken into custody without incident, and police say the victims are quite shaken, but thankfully no shots were fired and no one was injured. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
An 11-hour standoff in Washington state finally ended this morning with both the death of one officer along with the suspect also dead. Officers were investigating a domestic disturbance when shots were fired by a suspect, hitting one officer who later died at the hospital. The suspect has not been identified, barricaded himself inside along with others, including 2 children.
I want to let everyone know that I learned in this interim that our officer was pronounced dead at the hospital. We all will take our time when it's appropriate to grieve and to share our thoughts and feelings about our friend.
During the standoff, police were able to rescue a 6-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl from inside the home. An officer shot and killed the suspect during the rescue. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in the town of Kuna, Idaho. Around 90 sixth graders are taking part in Operation Decoration. For the past 5 years, the kids paint 30 storefronts with the theme of Winter Wonderland, showing off their artistic sides by painting snowmen and Christmas trees, snowflakes, all of that. Grants and business donations help make this operation possible. Looks like fun. And still to come on your Suncoast News, a controversial idea in Venice that has the community divided over how to best take care of downtown parking. Plus a strategy on counterterrorism. The president plans a trip to Florida.
You've seen me roll for 100 G's, but I got a little more than dough riding on this one. They call you Lady Luck. but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.